Muslan, oh wise man.
No, well, hey, I think we just got that possible in the recording. If you did, if we didn't, I'm not sure when I hit go on this. You got Dean and Rob, who are the co-founders of Simply Be Found, and I'm supposed to lead Dean, so that way we don't go down any rabbit holes on today's recording. So if you've watched any of our recordings this week, we went down quite a few different rabbit holes. But today I want to talk about something that's really special and dear to my heart. I was going through and looking at reports, and Dean, do you know how many active users we have? This goes for our free accounts, our paid accounts, of how many people at least log into our platform once per week. How many locations do you think that is?
You mean how many people actually using the platform, or just how many people are with us?
How many people are actually using the platform?
I would probably guess maybe 10 to 20,000.
We have 70,000 active users as of today.
I don't go on the backside and look at that as much
So
as you
of
do.
active locations with all the free, that means somebody logs in once per week. We have 70,000 active users. So that means we have 70,000 locations using us to be able to help them in some way to be able to get found. That could be a free account all the way to our paid accounts.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that big. I knew we had a bunch, but
I think we did too. I haven't ran that number this year yet. This is the
gotcha.
first time I ran it because I really don't pay much attention to that. Now I pay attention to what's coming into our bank account, but I don't pay attention to what that is.
Bank account. Okay, gotcha. No, teasing. But no, I know that I spent so much time with the support questions and stuff. I didn't realize that many, and it's really that explains why some of our support stuff is getting narrowed down, because the more users we have, the more they find our boo
Right.
boo, or they're confused because something isn't a good user experience. So no, awesome. That is an awesome number.
So having that, as we look through, as we in this video is going to be kind of talking about ourselves a little bit there, as having those 70,000 active locations and using it once per week, that is absolutely amazing. That to me, from putting my venture capital hat back on from those days, that's amazing to me that we've been able to do it. You and I handle 100% of the phone calls that come in, and then we have our support team that helps us be able to handle the support tickets, the emails, and to be able to do some of that back end stuff, and plus our engineers. But we have treated Simply Be Found just like a small business, and we've stayed true to our whole entire principle for when we started this, of being able to help local businesses get themselves found, and to absolutely do it to where they can do it on their own and keep it simple.
Wow, and I find amazing is that you and I talk to a lot of our members and potential members, and we still can handle it. I mean, that's a tribute to our platform functioning the way we want it to.
Isn't that crazy? I
Wow.
thought I thought it was absolutely crazy that we have that many active users or locations, and they're not users but locations.
Yeah, and we're so different than most other businesses because you and I are hands on with our
Yep.
staff and our members and everything. I mean, how many other companies can you actually call up and actually talk to the co-founder? Not many, not many.
There's not. I mean, there's not, and that brings me to my big question that I want to ask anybody who's made it this far to hear us kind of toot our own horn and be able to pat ourselves on the back for that. But my big question is, what things can we add to the platform? We're currently getting ready to start adding more features. We're getting ready to start building onto the platform. So we need to know from our members. We need to know how many people, what areas are you struggling at? What do you wish we had? I mean, I'm getting a lot of members asking questions about video. I'm looking at being able to add video in. That's going to be a huge play, but we're going to have some other stuff that gets mixed into that. So what are your pain points? Because 100% of what happens inside of our platform is done based on your feedback as a member. So I don't care if you're on a free plan or a paid plan. Now, if you're on a paid plan, you have 1,000 accounts with us, I'm probably going to be paying a little bit more attention to you. I won't lie, but it's one of those things to where all that feedback comes through, because we work with a lot of one man band shops, and we get a lot of feedback from those 1,000 people that just are that one man band, and that has just as much power as a big account with us.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And the thing is if we have one or two people that want a whole function out of that entire group, that may not get our attention. It's not that we appreciate the input, but until we get more requests for it, because you're looking at the board that makes those decisions. The two of us,
Yep.
we make those decisions, but we base it on your activity with us and your feedback, and we try to let you know that we've referred you, and then we will release and let you know what we decide, basically.
Well, and we watch things like the AI listings that just came out. We watch the data points of what's going to help you as a whole. Because, yes, we don't have the reports piece. We don't have those things because we think a lot of those numbers are BS. But we still have access to the report side of the data we can collect. And we have a data scientist that sits on board along with myself that goes through all those data points to figure out what is working and what is not working.
Right.
Thank you to everybody who ever tells us that our platform doesn't work or complains about it, because we don't know, because we can't see what's inside of your bank account. We can't see how many calls are happening to you. I can't see how many leads are coming into you, and I have absolutely no idea how much money you're making. So I can't see those data points. So you have to be able to call us and say, hey, it's not working. Send us a message and go, it just isn't working. It doesn't mean you're going to get coached on it every time. It doesn't mean any of that if it's that side and you're on a free plan, but we want to know that you don't think it's working so we can look and see why it's not working.
Right.
If you're on a free plan, we'll send you some videos of where we think you're missed at. It won't be guided. If you're on a coaching plan or one of our paid plans, we'll tell you what you need to fix on there.
Perfect. I agree with you 100% on that. So,
but I thought that was interesting. That means we have a lot of data points that we're able to look at. So having 70,000 local small businesses for the most part, that's absolutely amazing to me on that big structure that we have. And I try not to pay attention to how many locations it is. I just look at categories and I look at what's working inside of that category when I break that down.
Right. And on the support side, if I knew we had that many, I'd be freaking out, because if something starts to go down the road, I'd be like, what? I'm the guy who gets to hold your hand and try to walk you through the problem.
Right.
So
now the interesting piece of that, Dean, is I got asked the other day while we're going down that road, and I'm a rabbit hole. You've been rabbit holing this whole week with me.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to rabbit hole this time. I got asked the other day, I said, well, why isn't your platform perfect? I said, well, we work with up to 300 networks, which at this point is almost about 450, 500 at this next release. And I was like, so we have that many networks we work with. And if they were perfect, then we might have a chance of being perfect. But when's the last time you logged into Google Business Profile and it's perfect? They're like, well, never. I said, well, we have to rely on that information. When's the last time you logged into Bing? It was perfect. I don't even know how to use Bing. I said, exactly. I said, what about Apple Business Connect? Well, I didn't know where to start there. I kept going in circles. I'm like, so there's the answer to your question. We'll never be perfect because nobody we're working with is perfect.
Yeah. So and we talked about just not being perfect. Bing is still has some struggles.
Bing's still using technology from the 1990s. I swear, it has to be early 2000s, 1990s, because it reminds me of Lycos back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's just, but no, and then of course we have the big player Google makes changes and sends updates out, and they go out and they don't always work the way they hope they work sometimes.
No.
It's like anybody, you put it out there, and sometimes you go, you do it on a song and a prayer and say, I hope it works. And it usually it does, but there's still glitches that happen and they don't quite work the way they expect. And then you can let us know that something's going on. And then we can talk to our sources and see what we can come up with for you. So,
I mean, our engineers work with the Google engineers all the time, look at questions and answers. We were able to somehow, between our engineers and possibly their engineers, which we never really heard back, hey, try it from them, for questions and answers, and questions and answers we got resolved. It's now working. But I went and tried using it last week on Friday. I haven't used it yet this week as of recording this, but it's one of those things to where it was still broke inside of Google Business Profile Direct.
Right.
You still can't view all your questions and answers, but you can inside of our platform. I'm not saying we're a better option, but sometimes that stuff works. It's the first time we've been able to say, hey, we're not broke, but yet Google still is.
Yeah, and that was thanks to our engineers and talking to their engineers. Our engineers picked up on something and was able to figure something out. So that's awesome for our team.
Well, there's so many different people that are inside and involved in that. There's engineering teams, there's API teams, there's all these different departments that have to talk to one another at all these locations that we work with. And really, I mean, our biggest asset that we're able to put out there is, as we started off saying, we have 70,000 active locations. Those are all small businesses, and that matters. We're not dealing with any big corporations. We have a couple big multi-location accounts and agencies that are mixed in there, but for the most part, most of them are just a small local business.
Right? No, I agree with you 100%. And that's what we set out to help, and I'm glad we're helping as many as we are. So
I couldn't believe it when I saw it, because that was what you and I first started off when we were drafting this all up. Said we wanted to be able to solve. We wanted to be able to help as many small businesses, because you and I've witnessed people getting screwed. We've been screwed by people who said they were going to do something then not deliver.
right. Well, I had black hair when we started this project, so not really.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not sure I've known you to have black hair. That freaks me out even thinking about it.
Actually, actually, they called him Deanie with the light brown hair, is what they used to call me back in the day.
How old were you when you started going gray?
Oh,
My age?
I was in late 40s. I started getting a little bit of tinge, but little salt and pepper. But now it's pretty much all there, except for a couple spots, a little in the beard and the mustache. But now it's instead of pepper and salt, now it's salt and pepper, right? So
Exactly. Now, I mean, one of the big things I would say is I didn't have as much gray hair when we started this. I could say that better than you could say that.
exactly, I had more on the top of my head though when I started this.
You did. I mean,
Yeah. So, but
well,
no,
if you like watching our randomness and you're part of those 70,000 people that are using our platform for locations, thank you. You're using it the way you should be. And I mean, we really appreciate it. And how we can help, just let us know.
yeah, subscribe and like us. The more we get watching, the better we are. So thank you.
Exactly.